Hi. Hola.
Hi.
Welcome. I'm just kind of hanging out. I figured people would start to join early, especially students who didn't take 121 with me online last quarter or ever. So I'm Amy Carrillo. I'm the instructor for this class. And once I get more people on here, I'm going to actually share my screen. So we're not just looking at each other. We're going to be looking at a PowerPoint. But I thought, like I said, I thought I'd join early just in case people had questions or were curious about how it was going to work. You know, be a little bit early. So far, everything good in the class? Actually, I'm gonna stop the share just because it's easier for me to see when people come in and out when I'm not sharing my screen. So no pressure. You don't feel like you have to sit here and stare at me. You know, go about your business. Like I said, I just came on early because I was here and I thought maybe people would be checking it out and may have any questions. As long as you don't have any questions, you're good to go. Then hang out quietly. Talk amongst yourselves. Hi. Can you hear me?
Hi. Yep.
Okay, good. I was just hanging out here a little bit early in case people wanted to sign on, check it out, or if you had any questions. If you're good, no pressure. I'm just here. I'm waiting till 9 to get started.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I was able to get in completely. That way I wasn't.
You were having a hard time getting in?
No, I was just trying to figure it all out again to make sure
Yeah.
I wasn't like the last one.
Right. Yeah, no, I figured. Like I said, I figured there'd be people.
Yeah.
Hi. Are you in the bathroom at school?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm in the it's like the craft room. There's like
Oh, okay.
it's for ASB. I don't know. So like the night classes that you offered were only during like when I go to work, and I can't change my schedule because I just changed it back from fall quarter, and I have to wait 2 months before I can change my schedule. So I was like, all right. So I went to, because this is the end of my first hour. And so I went to my second hour teacher and I was like, hi, I'm going to miss your class every Tuesday. And he was like, all right, that's fine. And then I emailed him this morning and I was like, I just want to remind you that I'm not going to be in your class. Please don't mark me absent. And he was like, all right, see you next Tuesday. And I was like, that's not how this works.
No. You missed it. Try again.
My third hour teacher, because I have math, I was like, I'm going to be maybe like 5 minutes late each day because sometimes it goes over and like I have to pack up my laptop and stuff like that. And he was like, okay, you'll just miss, a lot. And I was like, 5 minutes? That's when we do announcements. And
You can, Zoe, you can pack up from this a few minutes early too.
It's okay. I have like 104% in my math class. I don't care if he gets mad at me.
A lot of times, depending on how many people are in the lab, we'll finish in less than an hour or two. So.
Okay.
Last quarter we talked a lot, so that's why it took so long.
True.
Hola. So we have a few more minutes, but before I actually get started, but for those of you who are just signing on and don't know me, I am Amy Carrillo. I am the instructor for Spanish 121, 122, 123 online. And this is Language Lab. So we start off quickly, which is why I'm really glad that those of you from TCC especially had that little warm-up week last week where we didn't really do much, and I said, check out the course and everything. Because today we're going to jump right into Chapter 5, and it's going to get really grammar-y really quickly. So if you guys have any questions about the class or anything, the assignments, the calendar, iLearn, where to find things, you can take a moment to ask me, but then once we get started, today's lesson is probably going to take the entire hour. Usually it does. So I know most of you, a couple of you people are new, which is totally cool. Don't feel like we're the clan that's not including you. Just don't hesitate to ask questions, okay? Because once you get the feel of the class and how it's laid out, it's a piece of cake, it's a breeze. But I know that in the beginning, like the first 2 weeks can be a little tricky with all the technology that we use, whether it be Panopto or Respondus, and then the online textbook or workbook, and then Language Lab. So this is what this is going to look like until I share my screen, which I'm going to do now because it's time. So there are a lot of you. I think there's like 8 already, which is, and all of them are really full. I think I have like 12 or 13 people signed up for each slot. And I did that on purpose because some people tend to drop or be absent every once in a while. If we are staying with 12 or 13 people each time, I may play with it a little bit and see if I can either open up another hour or slide people into different hours if they're available, because 12 or 13 is really too many. But in the beginning of the quarter, I always jam them packed because I account for people disappearing. It happens. People are disappearing very quickly. So here we go. When we get started, so I signed into my computer about 45 minutes ago and opened up my PowerPoints that I use to teach Language Lab, and they're all corrupted. Wasn't that a nice way to start my day? They're all like the letters are on top of each other and you can't read them at all. So I had sort of a mild panic attack. And my husband was like, well, the kids probably downloaded something on your computer and corrupted your files. But I was like, at least I can open them like this. So I was going to make some adjustments and changes and stuff. Those didn't happen. So I'm teaching with my old slides from previous quarters that I would have liked to make changes to, but we're just going to roll with it. So for those of you who have never done a language lab before, this is what it's going to typically look like. I'm going to have a PowerPoint on most of my screen, and then I'll be here and you'll see the faces of other students in your group. These people are going to be your best friends. And I tend to teach a little bit, maybe for less than 5-10 minutes at the beginning, and then I'm going to have some questions that you guys are going to ask each other that will apply the grammar rules that I've just taught you to, like conversation topics. The way it works is that everybody in the room takes a turn. So you can't just be a silent observer. You get called on. But that being said, you're not graded on being correct, or if you make mistakes, I don't take points off. This is meant for practice. So as long as you show up and you participate, you get a 100, and this is worth 20% of your grade in my class. So it's important, A, to help your grade, but it's also, I've been told, very helpful to kind of solidify and solidify and help you understand the grammar topics that are being taught in the textbook. So far, so good?
Yep.
This course, Spanish 122, starts with Chapter 5. Most of you, I imagine, took Spanish 121 at your college and did chapters Capítulo Preliminar through Chapter 4. If you are one of those people that somehow just jumped to Spanish 122 without taking Spanish 121, it may be helpful for you to just kind of breeze through and look at what was covered in those chapters, because my expectation of my students when they start this course is that they got it. They learned that stuff, and I don't review it. So you need to be able to conjugate verbs, AR, ER, and IR verbs in the present tense, because we build on that in this class. So the first thing that we're going to talk about are reflexive verbs. Reflexive verbs are verbs that somebody does to themselves. So they include a little reflexive pronoun out in front of the conjugated verb. The reflexive pronouns are like saying myself, yourself, himself, herself. I wash myself. She brushes herself, her hair. In Spanish, you say it a little bit different, but that's how it sounds in English. And so these reflexive pronouns are me, te, se, nos, os, and se. You can see that se is for él, ella, or usted. Ellos, ellas, and ustedes. Use the same reflexive pronoun for all of those subjects. So how can you spot a reflexive verb? It ends in se. So if you have your textbook handy, and for those of you who have never done this before, I do recommend, if you have purchased a hard copy of your textbook, keep it handy, because a lot of times I'll refer to stuff in it, I'll refer to the pages in your textbook, and I also ask you questions that you can pull from the vocab at the end of your textbook, at the end of the chapter. If you have it, open to page 155. And you'll see on page 155, down towards the bottom, a whole list of reflexive verbs. And you can see that they all end in se. The infinitive ends in se. Acostarse, afeitarse, bañarse, cuidarse, peinarse, pintarse, quitarse, secarte. You can see they end in se. So what you do when you conjugate a reflexive verb, you just add one little step, and that is to take the se off the end of it, and you move it out in front, and depending on who is doing the reflexive verb to themselves, you change it. So if I'm doing the reflexive verb to myself, I change that se to me. If you're doing it to yourself, you change it to te. So on and so forth. What you're left with after that is just a regular AR, ER, or IR verb. And here's one thing I was going to change. Whoops. I was going to add an example because for some reason I didn't put an example in here, I don't think. And I apparently forgot how to use my computer over Christmas break. So here's an example, lavarse. You can see that it ends in se. That means it's a reflexive verb. This is my favorite verb to use as an example because it's very clear when it's reflexive and when it's not. We have the verb lavar. It's a regular AR verb that means to wash. And I can wash a lot of things. Lord knows I do. I have 4 kids. I do a lot of washing in my life. I can wash my car. I can wash the dishes, right? I can wash the walls. Anytime that I'm doing the washing, but not receiving the washing, I'm washing something else or somebody else, not reflexive. Anytime I'm doing the washing and receiving the washing, I wash my hair, I wash my face, I wash my body, then it's reflexive. I wash myself, my face, I wash myself, my hair, I wash myself, my body. That's what makes it a reflexive verb. So if somebody else washes themselves, you wash yourself, he washes himself, they wash themselves, it's reflexive. He can wash my car, I wish. He washing the car, not reflexive. It's only reflexive when the person who's doing the washing receives the action of the washing. I feel like washing is the easiest verb to show you that, but it's really any verb that works like that. You do the verb, you receive the action of the verb, it's reflexive. You do the verb, something else in the world receives the action of the verb, not reflexive. So back to conjugating a reflexive verb. The first thing you need to do is deal with that se on the end of it. You're going to get rid of it and you're going to change it to whomever is doing the verb. After you deal with the se, you're left with just a regular verb. In this case, it's a regular AR verb, lavar. So you're going to conjugate it the way that we learned how to conjugate verbs back in Spanish 121. You drop the AR and you add the AR verb endings. Me lavo, I wash myself. Te lavas, you wash yourself. Se lava, he washes himself, she washes herself. You formal wash yourself. Nos lavamos, we wash ourselves. Os laváis, you all in Spain wash yourselves. Ellos, ellas, or ustedes se lavan, they wash themselves. Or you all, ustedes, you all wash yourselves. Okie dokie. Anybody have any questions about what a reflexive verb is or how to conjugate a reflexive verb? Everybody is good. Okay. So now that I have done that, we're going to ask some questions to each other that include reflexive verbs. Now, I forgot to mention this, but usually I do say the topic of the chapter, and this is why we're talking about this, the topic of chapter 5 is self, body, wellness, seeing a doctor, daily routine, how you take care of yourself, like what you do in the morning, you wash your hair, you brush your teeth, stuff like that. So these questions are pertaining to that kind of vocabulary, and the reflexive verbs lend themselves very nicely to that topic. I'm going to change the first question to something a little bit easier. This is one of the things I was going to change when I found out all my PowerPoints got corrupted. ¿A qué hora te levantas? So the verb in the question is the verb levantarse. It's a reflexive verb that means to get up, meaning like get up in the morning. In Spanish, it's reflexive. You get yourself up. You get up to yourself. You get yourself up in the morning. So when you answer this question, you're going to start with me levanto. I'm giving you guys lots of help. We've taken the se off the end, changed it to me out in front, and adding the o for yo. Me levanto, I get up, and then you say what time. A las, whatever the time is that you get up, all right? All you have to do is change the answer for yourself, okay? So we're going to start with Abby, if you're okay with that, Abby. Are you okay with going first? Okay. So I'm going to ask you, Abby, ¿a qué hora te levantas?
Me levanto a las 5 de la mañana.
Wow, temprano. Me levanto. Make sure you put an O at the end.
Okay.
Muy bien. And then, Abby, you're going to ask Kalani. Kalani, am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Yeah, you are.
All right, muy bien. You're going to ask Kalani.
¿A qué hora te levantas?
Me levanto a las 6.
Muy bien. A las 6. Excelente. Kalani, you're going to ask Tara. Tara, is that correct? Tara? Tara. Kalani, ask Tara. I always ask because it's important that I pronounce your name correctly.
¿A qué hora te levantas?
Me levanto a las 6:30.
Perfecto. Tara, you're going to ask Naomi.
¿A qué hora te levantas?
Me levanto a las 8.
8.
8.
Me levanto a las 8. Muy bien. Naomi, you're going to ask Sarah.
¿A qué hora te levantas?
Me levanto a las 8:04.
Muy bien. Sarah, you're going to ask Kayla.
¿A qué hora te levantas?
Me levanto a las 8.
Excelente. Kayla, you're going to ask Phoenix.
Phoenix, ¿a qué hora te levantas?
Me levanto a las 7.
A las 7. Excelente. I believe I got everybody, yes? Anybody get missed? Okay, good. So I forgot to mention this, but maybe next time if you forgot, you can pay attention. You're going to ask the same person every time. So try to remember who you're talking to. I have a list here in case you forgot. But that way, it's just accountability. For me, it's easier to make sure that everybody is getting called upon. Okay, so the next question includes 2 reflexive verbs. Te maquillas o te afeitas la cara. This is your cara. Te maquillas, do you put on makeup? O te afeitas? Which one do you do? So you're just going to answer for whichever one you do to your face. Either verb, you're going to put into the yo form. If you need help, I'll help you, but I'm trying. One of my New Year's resolutions was to not be so helpful. Abby, are you okay?
Yeah.
Or do you need some help?
What was the first one and the second word?
The first verb is maquillarse. It means to put on makeup.
Okay.
So, te maquillas, do you put on makeup? O te afeitas, do you shave your face?
Si te me quedo.
Almost.
Oh, me. Oh, yeah, okay.
Maquillo.
Maquillo. Okay.
La cara. No worries. I have a feeling most of you, this is going to be the answer. I don't have any gentlemen in here this morning. So go ahead. Sometimes that just because this is the answer that you're given doesn't mean you have to answer this. Personally, I very rarely wear makeup. So I might say, no me maquillo, no me afeito. And that's okay. You want to try it again, Abby? ¿Te maquillas o te afeitas la cara?
Sí, me maquilla maquillo la cara.
Good. Me maquillo la cara.
Maquillo.
Now you ask Kalani.
Kalani, te maquillas o te
Afeitas.
afeitas la cara?
Me maquillo la cara.
Perfect.
Mm.
Kalani, you're going to ask Tara.
Tara, te maquillas o te afeitas la cara.
Me maquillo la cara.
Muy bien.
Naomi, ¿te maquillas o te afeitas la cara?
Me maquillo la cara. And then who am I asking again?
Naomi, you ask Sarah.
Sarah. Te maquillas o te afeitas la cara?
Me maquillo la cara.
Very good.
And then, who am I asking again?
You ask Kayla.
Okay, Kayla. Te maquillas o te afeitas la cara?
Me maquillo la cara.
Perfect. And then you ask Felix.
O te aprietes la cara.
What was neither one? Was it me maquillo y no te afeito?
No me afeito. No me maquillo. No me afeito.
No me.
Right? Okie dokie. The next question. ¿Cuándo te cepillas los dientes? Let me make some room here and I can show you this verb. The verb is cepillarse. Cepillarse is a reflexive verb that means to brush yourself. So in Spanish, you don't brush your teeth, you don't brush your hair. You brush yourself the teeth, you brush yourself the hair. That's just how it directly translates. It doesn't sound weird to them. So the verb cepillarse is a regular AR reflexive verb. So you're going to drop the se at the end, move it to the front. You're going to change it to me for yourself, and then you're going to put this in the yo form. It's asking cuando. Cuando means when. You could say a time of the day, or you could just say like in the morning, in the evening, after dinner. Abby, ¿cuándo te cepillas los dientes?
Mi 5:30.
Me cepillo
Me cepillo los dientes.
a las 5:30.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that what you said at 5:30 in the
Yeah.
morning?
Yeah.
Good. Me cepillo los dientes. I brush my teeth. Me cepillo los dientes a las 5:30.
Okay.
And then go ahead and ask Kalani.
Kalani, ¿cuándo te cepillas los dientes?
Me cepillo los dientes en la días.
En la mañana.
Mañana, yeah.
En la mañana. Very good. Muy bien. Ask Tara.
Tara, Caro, ¿cuándo te cepillas los dientes?
Me cepillo los dientes después del desayuno y en la noche.
Muy bien. Perfect.
Naomi, ¿cuándo te cepillas los dientes?
Me cepillo los dientes de la mañana.
En la mañana. Excelente.
Sarah, ¿cuándo te cepillas los dientes?
Me cepillo los dientes en la mañana y por la noche.
Muy bien.
Kayla, ¿cuándo te cepillas los dientes?
Mi cepillo a las 8 de la mañana.
Good. Me cepillo, you forgot dientes. Me cepillo los dientes a las 8 de la mañana.
Me cepillo de la Me cierro los dientes a las 8 de la mañana.
Good.
Phoenix, ¿cuándo te cepillas los dientes?
Me cepillo los dientes en la mañana y noche.
Muy bien. Perfecto. Okay. Now we're going to do the next question, but there's something that I forgot to mention. So when you're using, here, I'm going to get rid of my writing because it looks messy. When you're using a reflexive verb in a compound verb phrase, so this is maybe something you've heard me mention before or somebody mentioned before, your teacher. When you use a compound verb phrase, it means you're using two verbs next to each other in Spanish, compound verb or a double verb phrase. When you do this, you always conjugate the first verb, you always leave the second verb unconjugated. So the rule is you never conjugate two verbs next to each other in Spanish. When you're using a compound verb phrase with a reflexive verb, and the reflexive verb is the one that is being left alone, not conjugated, you still need to change the reflexive pronoun at the end. So that's what's happening in this next question. It's asking prefieres. That is a conjugated verb. It means, do you prefer? Prefieres. And then two reflexive verbs, bañarte, to bathe yourself, as in like a bathtub, o ducharte. The verb is ducharse. So these verbs, the infinitives, are bañarse, to take a bath, ducharse, to take a shower. Even though they're left unconjugated in the question because they're following an already conjugated verb, we've still changed the reflexive pronoun on the end. So bañarte, to bathe yourself, ducharte, to shower yourself. So when you answer, you're going to put preferir, the verb here, in the yo form. It looks like this. Prefiero, I prefer. And then you're going to either say bañarme or prefiero ducharme, if you prefer to take a bath or you prefer to take a shower. Does everybody understand what's happening here? Yeah, I saw a head nod.
Wait, I have a question really quick.
Yeah.
So if we're choosing one or the other, what goes between, like what goes after the first?
Nothing, a period. Prefiero bañarme.
Okay.
Prefiero ducharme. The end of the sentence. Okay? Abby, ¿prefieres bañarte o ducharte?
Prefiero ducharme.
Oops, get rid of the te and change it to me. Prefiero ducharme.
Oh, I added te at the end of.
Yeah, you kept the te there. Instead of the te, you want the me.
So prefiero ducharme.
There you go. Muy bien.
And then
So go ahead and ask Kalani.
Kalani, ¿prefieres bañarte o ducharte?
Prefiero ducharme.
Muy bien.
Tara, ¿prefieres bañarte o ducharte?
Prefiero ducharme. Naomi, ¿prefieres bañarte o ducharte?
Prefiero ducharme. Sarah, ¿prefieres bañarte o ducharte?
Prefiero ducharme. Kayla, ¿prefieres bañarte o ducharte?
Prefiero bañarme.
Bañarme. Muy bien.
Phoenix, ¿prefieres bañarte o ducharte?
Yo prefiero ducharme.
All right. Muy bien. The next question is again a compound verb phrase question. So the first part is asking ¿a qué hora? At what time? ¿Te gusta acostarte? What time do you like to go to bed? right? Because the time that we like to go to bed is not always the time that we get to go to bed. So tell me what time you like to go to bed. Again, in your answer, you're going to start with the conjugated verb me gusta, I like, or it pleases me. Then you're going to use the verb acostarse, but you're going to change this to me. Me gusta acostarme a las 9. That would be my answer. Me gusta acostarme a las 9. You know, round about the time I'm go to work. Abby, ¿a qué hora te gusta acostarte?
Me gusta acostarme a las 10.
Muy bien. Perfect.
And then Kalani, ¿a qué hora te gusta acostarte?
Me gusta a las
Oops, don't forget the verb acostarme.
acostarme 11.
A las 11. Muy bien. So me gusta acostarme a las 11.
Tere, ¿a qué hora te gusta acostarte?
Me gusta acostarme a las 9:30.
Muy bien.
¿A qué hora te gusta acostarte?
Me gusta acostarme a las 11.
Muy bien.
Sarah, ¿a qué hora te gusta acostarte?
Me gusta acostarme a las 11.
Muy bien.
Kayla, ¿a qué hora te gusta acostarte?
Me gusta acostarme a las 10. Phoenix, ¿a qué hora te gusta acostarte?
Me gusta acostarme a las 10.
Perfect. Muy bien. All right, one more question. And I mean, I know I need to move on, but I really like this question because it's a little bit more open-ended than the previous questions where you were basically changing the ending of the answer to apply to yourself. This one asks, ¿Cómo te cuidas la salud? So what it's asking you right here, the verb cuidarse has been conjugated for tú. Cuidarse means to care for yourself. So it's a little bit of an idiomatic question, meaning it doesn't make sense to translate it word for word, but what it's asking is, how do you stay healthy? How do you care for your health? And I want to see, without my help, what kinds of answers you come up with. But I will give you this very big hint. Your answer does not need to include a reflexive verb, okay? Just any verb that you can think of that you do to stay healthy. And if you need help, I will help you. Abby, ¿cómo te cuidas la salud?
How would I start? Just
Yo.
okay. Yo jugar el voleibol y levantar los pesos.
Very good. Okay, so you did a great job. You gave us 2 great verbs. You play volleyball and you lift weights. I want you to conjugate these 2 verbs, jugar and levantar, in the yo form.
So
This
juego.
one's a little bit irregular.
It's like juego.
Juego. Good. So yo juego al voleibol y
Levanto.
good job. Pesas. Very good. Yo juego al voleibol y levanto pesas. Awesome job.
And then Kalani, ¿cómo te cierras
La salud.
La
That verb cuidarse has a hard C. ¿Cómo te cuidas la salud?
Okay.
So I don't know how to say it in Spanish, but I travel. So
Good. Okay, I will help you. So you want to say I travel. That's what you do to stay healthy. The verb to travel is viajar. So you want to conjugate this verb viajar into the yo form.
Okay, so yo viajo?
Good. Yo viajo. Good. I
Okay.
travel. Keeps you healthy, keeps you sane.
Yes.
Muy bien.
And then, Tere, ¿cómo te cuidas la salud?
Cuidas.
Cuidas la salud.
Yo bebo mucho agua, me duermo temprano y hago mucho ejercicio.
Wow, sir. You must be super healthy. Muy bien. Muy bien. Good job. She drinks water, goes to bed early, does exercise.
Naomi, ¿cómo te cuidas la salud?
Yo esquio.
Good. Esquio. Perfect. Yo esquio. I ski.
Sarah, ¿cómo te, how do you say it one more time?
Cuidas. I tried to
Cuidas.
write it phonetically, but messed it up. Cuidas.
¿Cómo te cuidas la salud?
Yo duermo y acto.
Actúa, like you act.
Yeah, because like that's how I'm like happy, so I feel like healthy.
Good. Okay, I got you. I understood.
Okay.
Actuar is the verb, so it's pronounced like this. Yo actúo.
Oh, right. Okay. Okay. ¿Cómo cuidas la salud?
Kayla?
Oh, yo acosto a tiempo.
Good. So your verb, hold on, I gotta get rid of these other ones. Clear. Your verb is reflexive. Acostarse. And it's a stem changing verb. So hopefully you guys remember talking about stem changing verbs, shoe verbs if you had me as a teacher last quarter. So when you conjugate acostarse, it becomes me acuesto.
Yo me acuesto a tiempo.
Good job. Muy bien. And then ask Phoenix.
Phoenix, ¿cómo te cuidas la salud?
Yo monto caballos.
Good. Yo monto caballos. Excelente. How are we feeling about reflexive verbs? Eh. 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 I wish you guys could send me an emoji. I like emojis. I want this program to have an emoji feature where you could be like, you know, like the thinking one or like the super happy one, or I really like the one with the eyeglass thing. It just popped up on my phone recently. I like that one. Okay, well, we're done talking about reflexive verbs. So if you have a question you want to ask me privately about reflexive verbs, my email is a great way to communicate with me. I check my Canvas email multiple times a day. If you have a question, that's probably the best way to ask, not my college email. So not my TCC or WWCC email. Just go straight through Canvas. Any question at any time, except don't text me in the middle of the night. I still have students who text me in the middle of the night thinking that's appropriate. Not sure why. All right, we're moving on then to the next topic for chapter 5, which is going to be the expression acabar de. This expression means to have just done something, and it functions as a compound verb phrase. So we just kind of talked about those a little bit. It functions as a phrase in which it uses two verbs next to each other. We're going to conjugate acabar. Good news, it's a regular AR verb. We're going to follow it by an unconjugated verb or an infinitive. So acabar, I'll show you here. Nice, normal AR verb. Oh. Yo acabo, tú acabas. I love to write my letters out of order. Él, ella, or usted acaba. Acaba. Apparently I can't talk and write at the same time. Nosotros acabamos. I'm back on track. Vosotros acabáis. You all have just done something. And then ellos, ellas, or ustedes acaban. See, it's a nice regular AR verb. Okay. After that, you use the little preposition de. You can't forget that. And then you're always, always, always going to follow this with a verb, an infinitive. Acabo de comer. Acabamos de estudiar. Ellos acaban de tomar un examen. Ella acaba de estudiar. I just found some examples. Nosotros acabamos de aprender. We have just learned. When you are using a reflexive verb with acabar de, you're going to leave the unconjugated verb, the reflexive verb unconjugated, but you still have to change the reflexive pronoun at the end, kind of like we did in the last question. Tú acabas de bañarte. You can see that the end of that has the te instead of the se, because it's the two. We're talking in the two form. Ellos acaban de afeitarse. They just shaved themselves. It sounds weird in English. I swear it's not weird or kinky or dirty, or just sounds weird to me in English, but it's not in Spanish. It's totally normal. Okay, so we're going to use acabar de to talk about what we or other people have just done. Ready? Sí, profesora, we are ready. We can't wait. Please bring on the preguntas. We can't wait. I'm going to ask you a question. Do you want to do this? Do you have to do this? Why don't you do that? And you're going to just tell me, I just did that thing. All right, we're going to practice this only in the yo form. So for example, Abby, are you still cool going first, or you want me to pick on someone else for a little while?
I'm okay with it.
Okay, good. Don't worry. Just always know that I'm here to help you, okay? So don't feel bad about not knowing how to answer, because that's what happens when you're in what I call the hot seat. You're first. After you, everybody's going to know how to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say, Abby, ¿quieres comer? Do you want to eat? You're going to say...
La acabo comer. I don't conjugate it, right?
Right.
Okay.
You did it right. So acabo, I think you may have forgotten the de. Acabo de.
Oh yeah, I forgot that part.
Comer. Cool? Acabo de comer. Do you want to eat? I just ate. Okay? Kalani, ¿necesitas bañarte?
Okay, so acabo de bañarte.
Don't forget to change the ending from te to me.
Bañarme.
Right. Acabo de bañarme. I just took a bath, or I just bathed myself. Good. Tara, ¿por qué no haces tu tarea?
Porque acabo hacer mi tarea.
Good. Acabo de hacer. Good. Why don't you do your homework? Because I just did my homework. Good, good, good. Everybody following along? So far, so good? Yeah? Making it easy. Making it easy. Naomi, ¿vas a ir al trabajo? Gonna go to work?
Acabo de al trabajo.
Good. You forgot the ir. Ir al trabajo. Or you could have said, just in case anybody else in the cyber world was thinking this may have been the answer, it's also correct. Acabo de trabajar. I just worked. I just went to work. I just worked. What's the difference between ir al trabajo, to go to work, and trabajar, to work? Either one of these makes sense, and either of them is correct. Oh, Sarah. ¿Estás limpiando tu habitación?
What does limpiando mean again?
Yeah, I was gonna say this one's a little tricky because it's the gerund. Are you cleaning your room? Your verb is limpiar, to clean. Are you cleaning your room?
So, acabo de limpiarme. Would you do
Limpiar.
habitación? No. So, what part am I conjugating then?
You're only conjugating acabar.
Oh,
You don't have to conjugate the second verb at all. If it's reflexive, like the bañarte question, you do need to just change the reflexive pronoun at the end. Most of these verbs are not even reflexive, in which case you do nothing to it. You had to change yours a little bit because it was limpiando in the question.
Mm-hmm.
Are you cleaning? But the answer, acabo de limpiar mi habitación.
Okay.
Kayla, ¿tienes que ir a la tienda?
Acabo de ir a la tienda.
Good. Acabo de ir a la tienda. I just went to the store. Oh, this one's not about you. This one's about Juan Carlos, Phoenix. Instead of answering in the yo form, you're going to answer for Juan Carlos. Juan Carlos, ¿tiene sed? Is he thirsty?
Acaba, it's like acaba, right?
Good. Acaba. If he's not thirsty, what did he just do?
Beber.
Good. Acaba de beber. JC. Juan Carlos. Acaba de beber. He just drank. We had an extra one. ¿Ustedes van a la clase de español? Are you going to Spanish class? Who wants to take this? Who's my star student of the day?
I was doing, so I kind of started to think about it.
Okay. Go for it.
But I'm a little confused. Is it acabo de van la clase?
Not quite. You're almost there. You're actually really close. The question is asking ustedes. So it's asking you all. You all are going to Spanish. Who do you answer for when the question is in the ustedes form?
Nosotros.
Right, good job. So put the answer in the nosotros form, which means you're going to have to conjugate acabar for nosotros.
Acabamos de
Ir.
ir. What does the ir do?
What does the ir do? It's the verb. We have just, it means to go. So in the question, it's saying, are you going? Van is the verb ir conjugated for ustedes. Acabamos de ir. We just went to Spanish class. How'd we do? Does that last one make sense to my people?
Yeah.
Yes? No, maybe so. Real quiet. All right. We are done with Language Lab for this morning. We cruise right through it because you're all geniuses. I'm convinced. You're all super smart. Does anybody have any questions about reflexive verbs or the expression acabar de? Okay. Well, like I mentioned before, if you feel like you have a question later on, do not hesitate to send me an email, ask me your questions. I actually really love when my students ask me questions because it means you're working. You're thinking about it in our time apart. Makes me super happy. So that's it for today. If anybody has any questions, maybe not about something that we went over, but about the class, a couple of things that I like to mention. I know that the information is there, but I feel like it doesn't hurt to just reiterate some things. Nothing for my class is ever due until the end of the chapter. So you can work on the assignments at your own pace. The events on the calendar, the daily things that are on the calendar, those are suggested things you should be working on each day so that when you arrive at the end of the chapter, for this chapter, it's January 20th, everything is done and it's not, panic how I have all this work to get done. But really, I don't grade anything, so you can turn things in when you complete them, all the way up until the end of the chapter. Once we finish a chapter, I don't accept work from that chapter, so I don't accept late work at all. Your first capstone for this chapter is going to be the only one that's an individual capstone, and it really is just a little recording, a little video of yourself telling me something interesting about you. I don't expect perfection. I don't expect a ton of really intricate details. I would prefer you keep it as simple as possible to avoid your temptation of going to something like Google Translate. I can tell when people use Google Translate. I know your level of Spanish, and I know Google's level of Spanish, and I can tell the difference. So please, pretty please, with sugar on top, resist the temptation. If you want to know how to say something that's beyond your ability, you can ask me, and I will help you simplify your thoughts so that you keep it at the level of Spanish where you should be. Okay, and it doesn't have to be long. I'm not expecting a 5-minute video. Even just a paragraph would be fine. After that, I'm going to give you a partner, somebody probably from your language lab, especially since I think you're all TCC students. I try to keep you from the same college at least. And you're going to start writing a dialogue for your capstones. You start this in chapter 6. You don't ever have to meet your partner in person, face-to-face. You can use this space. You use Zoom to meet your partner and do your assignment. The same way as if we were, standing in a classroom and I said, Phoenix and Naomi, you're going to work together, and you guys would slide your desks together and write your little dialogue together, and then you would present it. Same idea, except we do it virtually. You use this classroom. You say, let's meet on Fridays at 2 p.m., whatever works for you guys. And then you come in here, you write your dialogue, and you go into Canvas and you record it. That's what your capstones will look like this quarter. And the directions on how to do that are pretty detailed in Canvas. We can cross that bridge when we come to it next chapter. I just wanted to kind of give you a heads up that this is the only chapter that has an individual capstone with it. I think that's it. And I know that information was all in Canvas for you, but like I said, I just like to reiterate sometimes, make me feel better. If anybody has a question, I'm here. If not, I wish you all a super happy Tuesday, and I will see you all next week for the rest of chapter 5.
Thank you.
Bye.
Adios.
Adios.